And then, Clyde, do you then eat it? Do you consume it? So you said you were vegan previously. Vegan is to avoid the suffering of the animals as far as practically possible. So I would say that if you are going to justify any killing of an animal for the safety of a population, for any like scrupulous human decision explanation for, then there's so many other animals that we as you eat some vegetables. There's so many other animals that do seemingly need at this time to consume meat. If anybody justifies killing an animal for any reason, then that meat should not be eaten by humans. That should be eaten by it should be fed to animals that are in need to be supplied with meat and are getting it from abusive, exploitive, sort of suffering sources of industrial torture in general. And even if it was from another place, if you can switch out for an animal for some reason, but I don't believe there's any real justification for these culling of the animals. I can't see why you want to control the deer population. There's surely other ways to it. I mean, they did it in Yellowstone Park. They introduced what was it? What were they? Wild animals. Wolves? Was it wolves or? I think it was wolves. So with I don't think on this one we can present or invite. Yeah, with Kaylee, with Kaylee's actual what do you call it? StreamYard thingy, subscription. You can multi-layer videos now. I can't share the comments on screen. I have to upgrade to share the comments on screen as well. It's one of them things. One day I'm gonna have so much money. Probably some of you probably particularly individually probably owe me some money. But Kaylee might share some of her money with me as well. So Native Americans have live harmoniously. Sorry. I thought you were right. Homogeneously, whatever that word is, homogeneous. And nature for years. And are you going to ask the Native Americans to become vegan? Yeah, of course. Because it's only your interpretation of harmoniously. It's they didn't they don't do other aspects. They don't do other things of. If they actually use land to actually, if anyone's containing an animal, if you're breeding an animal into captivity, it's Eskimos. Yeah, if there's no land to actually grow food, if there's no land to actually grow food, then the question is why do they even live up there still? That's the big question I'd ask them. I mean, I can understand why they don't live down here. So I can understand that's a good enough reason. Perhaps, I can understand. Yeah, if they could be vegan for. I've discussed this before with myself and others. They could be classed as vegan. I would say that maybe there's some vegan Eskimos that eat meat. Yeah, as far as practicably possible. So Katie, I just wanted to show you this. The first. Do you remember the 988 that came out? My birthday, 1988, and then the 988 gigabytes, and then the 988 of the money that I mentioned, and then the first music that was on my screen this morning on my homepage was BWV 988. Cool, huh? and then it's too long. 6.9 million views. But I was just going to share this.
In my research over the years, I found that we come back again and again with many of the same souls. And these are soulmates or soul families. The souls are the same, but the physical bodies change and relationships change. For example, your grandmother may come back as your grandson, different physical form, but the same soul. We have many soulmates, I believe. Parents, siblings, friends, children, and others. And we kind of collect as families of souls because that's how we learn in this earth school. They know how to push our buttons. We know how to push theirs. We graduate kind of together. We're in families of souls. And so we're always being reunited. This is another concept, an important concept. People grieve so much, and understandably, we lose loved ones. But we're going to be reunited with those loved ones, either on the other side or back here in physical form again. And so in working with my patients, this can help to transform grief. You still miss them, but it's a different level, and you know you're coming back together again.
Prominent psychiatrist, Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. Chapter 1, The Beginning of a Strange Journey. Dr. Brian L. Weiss, a prominent...
I think it's a Weiss. I think in German it's pronounced Weiss, but we'll give the... I think it's an auto-speaking thing.
Psychiatrist practicing in Miami, was trained in the most rigorous scientific tradition. A graduate of Columbia University with high honors and Yale Medical School, he was chairman emeritus of psychiatry at Mount Sinai Medical Center and a distinguished scholar with dozens of scientific papers. His mindset, shaped by years of mainstream academia, was inherently skeptical of anything.
Just to say, yeah, he was. I could give my little input as well. So yeah, he was. He was not. He was not open to the idea initially until he had his own experiences, which I'm hoping this will cover. And I've not listened to this one. I was actually trying to find the full audio book of 4 hours and 14 minutes, 22 seconds. But I can't find that one. There's loads of others, but it was just that one I found initially, and it was just sentimental kind of to me. Yeah, so just to answer your question, Clyde, the cats, yeah. I personally would... I hate being a male. The idea that they get castrated is really sad. Because obviously it's just it makes you think of the pain that they're going through for that. But they are the way that we feed them tortured animals is just unexcusable. It's explainable, and I suppose it's excusable to some extent. Of we have to give grace to all these situations. And we had a cat when I was born. I remember Arnie. And then we had 2 cats, Kiara and Nyla, named after the 2 females in Lion King for a period of time during my childhood. And they coincidentally, or not coincidentally, but interestingly, the turtle shell cats don't get on well with each other for some reason. It's well known supposedly, and the mother had a tortoise shell one, and we ignorantly, I don't think we knew, but we just wanted, aesthetically. Oh, look, it's so pretty. It's got different colours. And we kept the baby. Gave, I think, 3 or 4 away. That was the same. It almost looked exactly identical to it, and they were always fighting, and it turned the mother really bitter and angry, and the daughter was like, she was just all right, but it's just so sad, the whole concept of cats. But so it is interesting to talk about these things, and being Friday, I thought I'd come with a different approach to these lives, being Venus Frege days. Friday Day. No, it's the Venus's day. It used to be called Friday in a different, Wednesday is Woden. Mars, the old name for Mars. Thursday, Thor, the old name for Jupiter. And Saturn, obviously, Sun, and the Moon are obviously the obvious. And then Tuesday, I think, is Mercury. I think, for some reason. Which kind of might have a Neptune feel to it as well. And they could have different things as well, and different interpretations, different concepts, and spiritual theories and stuff. But Colleen's got either a new account, or she's taken Babs out of her name, or this is just not her at all. And hello. No way, are you using the why are you Colleen McKay is using the QAnon logo. The Punisher with the Q. Why are you using the Q logo, Babs, if you are Babs? Yeah, we'll play the rest of this.
That could not be empirically proven. For him, studies in parapsychology or past lives were far-fetched, even absurd. Yet, his encounter with Catherine opened an entirely different door. Catherine was a beautiful 27-year-old woman, a lab
Cat for short.
laboratory technician at the hospital where he was chief of psychiatry, and a part-time swimwear model. Beneath her captivating exterior, her soul was tormented by invisible fears: fear of water, fear of choking to the extent she couldn't swallow pills, fear of flying, fear of darkness, and especially an obsession with death. These fears had plagued her since childhood and intensified over time, causing her chronic insomnia, frequent sleepwalking, and emotional paralysis. Catherine was raised in a conservative Catholic family in a small Massachusetts town. As the middle child, she always felt constrained and disadvantaged compared to her brother, who enjoyed freedom, and her pampered younger sister. Her father was an alcoholic.
Catherine, Catholic, cat short for Catholic, which relates to the the cathode aspect, I believe, which is why they worship Mary. Sorry, because Mary, the mare is the seas, the moon controls the seas, and the mother aspect is the moon, and cathode is the other side of the polarity to the electric than the anode. So anode. Now, Anno, I believe, is like Anunnaki. Anu is the male kind of related to the Horus, which is why Horizon is named Horizon. It's the Horus rising, the sun. The Horus is sun. Anno, I believe, is a masculine aspect, but then Anna, which all these things overlap because Mars, Aries, Mary's, and the Ram, Mad, backwards, Ram, is the male sign, but it's Mary, it's Mard, it's Mary. So the seas are feminine, but they also, controlled by Mars, in the moon, but also overlaps with Mary and Mars and Aries.
Frequently absent from home, and when he returned, he advantaged compared to her brother, who enjoyed freedom, and her pampered younger sister. Her father was an alcoholic, frequently absent from home, and when he returned, he was irritable, even aggressive. Her mother suffered from depression, having undergone electroshock treatments, which left Catherine in a prolonged state of insecurity. She had few childhood memories, as if her subconscious was trying to hide painful fragments. Her 6-year relationship with Stuart, a married physician, was fraught with lies, manipulation, and disappointment. Although she knew he was untrustworthy, Catherine couldn't break free, as if bound by an invisible force. This made her even more depressed, self-doubting, and adrift in all aspects of her life. Dr. Weiss, with his extensive professional knowledge, applied all traditional psychotherapeutic methods for 18 months, dream analysis, subconscious exploration, and encouraging childhood recall. However, her symptoms did not subside. She still couldn't sleep well, still had nightmares of collapsing bridges and drowning, and remained terrified of darkness and death. Weiss felt as if he was facing a giant wall, a limit that modern medicine could not overcome. Yet, instead of giving up, his determination grew stronger. Somehow, I was going to help her. An unexpected turning point occurred when Catherine accompanied Stuart to a medical conference in Chicago. Despite her intense fear of flying, she boarded the plane. There, while visiting the ancient Egyptian...
Oh, just before I forget to mention, Catholic, I saw the definition. The actual literal translation is oh, you accidentally removed a load of messages. Interesting. Oh, bless. I didn't notice. Oh, let's go see it. You'll probably be able to see as much as me in there now, but I didn't. Where's my window with that one? That was quality. That's so funny. Yeah. You just took out Clyde. You took out all Clyde's messages. Word of warning, you should be very careful of Shelley Moe. I believe she is far more dangerous than you or Jake. Take it or leave it. I don't care. You are unreal. You are a character of the most obscene, delusional projection onto our lives, intentional meddling and interference and nefarious agenda. You are. But these two spaz won't listen. So, is this Babs with the Q? Why do you have the Q logo, Babs? Why are you using the Q logo with the Punisher thing from the comic book? Make sure you didn't answer me already. So yeah, the other one was their Catholic actually translates as universal, supposedly. Okay, this is actually you're actually giving me the inspiration to potentially review a bit of Rebecca and Moon, and just easy saying fuck all, just sitting there quietly, somehow getting some sort of gratification of platforming people, if we can call them people. Bless them, they need help. They need saving from themselves, from the devil, from the earthly temptations of selfishness and delusion and projection and general abuse. So this is the reason why Kaylee, just the only person here I'm actually talking on a level with, she has a Q logo with the Punisher image, and it says above, I am not vaccinated. I won't be used as an experiment. So this is where we're at, eh? But Joe, do you know much about Q then, Babs? Do you want to come on the panel? Let's put the chat in. Let's see what you want to talk about. Your new logo. There you are. The link is pinned. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Sorry if you have to wait at all. I'm still getting used to this whole arrangement. No, you're misreading the situation here. There you are.
What
Good.
bollocks are you going to try to make up today?
That's not a very.
I have a little challenge every day, and it's like, which one of these two spazzes can come up with the worst, whatever today. And I think you might be winning it today, but Kaylee wins it a lot. So
Okay.
what are you going to come out with today? Let's hear. I haven't got very long.
So do you know about the Q? You know about the Q movement? They promote the children's testimonies.
No, I know nothing about the Q movement. It's just the fact that it said that I'm not vaccinated, that I liked it because I am a pure blood.
Well, Mr. Trump, he shared a Twitter post, the only post he ever thanked during his
Big
last
up
presidency.
Donald Trump. We
He
love
shared
him.
the children. He shared the children's image saying "Save the Littles." #Save the Littles, because little babies are being ritually murdered. Babs.
Yeah,
Who knows
yeah.
what we're dealing with?
Yeah.
Ritual murder. Yeah, it's a cult that murder ritually murder babies. Yes.
Yeah.
So do you know about reincarnation? Do you believe in reincarnation at all?
No, I don't.
Would you like to learn about it? It's very real.
No, it's not that I don't know anything about it. I'm saying I do not believe in it. It is bollocks. No,
it's been proven.
To learn. Oh, right, yeah. Of course, yeah. Just like it's been proven that this, that, and the other. How much more shit is going to come out your mouth? So I take it that you're going to win the shit spouting competition today. Maybe Kaylee might win it tomorrow. Sorry,
How
Kaylee.
pleased do you feel?
You've been knocked off the top spot today by your paedophilic boyfriend.
Do you feel a
Do you
level
know
of
how much
genuine?
hatred I have for you, Jake? Do you know how much I actually hate you?
Can we not make up?
Do you know how much I actually hate her? Do you understand that level of
But it's misguided.
disgusting feeling
It's
that
unfounded
you
and
are a
misguided.
vile human being. You are
That's
one of the lowest. You're even lower than Fred West and whatever that other thing he was with. Yeah, you're lower than that.
See, this is where your behaviour just stinks of generational incest cult, Babs.
Oh, shut up! See, it's comments like that make me fucking hate you. You know nothing about me. You've never even met me. Okay, your little slaggy girlfriend had one selfie with me, yeah? But she doesn't know me either.
I don't have
And
to
you
meet
go
people.
around. And yesterday, she had the fucking cheek to turn around and say that fucking, what was it she said? Bad, something along the lines, when you slander people, it's wrong. I hear her slandering people every day, all day. I can't get it through to
You're basing your interpretation of words on lies, either intentionally or otherwise. You're misleading yourself about the reality you're engaging in, intentionally or otherwise.
Oh, shut up, Jake! I'm not. I'm a mum. I'm a grandma. Sat here waiting for a new bed to be delivered so I can go out for a nice walk because it's a beautiful summer's day.
It's just meaningless.
Me.
Your words are meaningless, Babs.
But your words are meaningless. Nothing you say is true. Do you even know the meaning of the word truth? Do you need me to show you it?
Okay, so it's backed up by evidence which you don't bring. When do you do panels and present child testimony or try and refute child testimony which you come on here to spout are lying?
It's when something I'm a lot older than you, Jake. Yeah, a lot older. I'm probably twice your age. Yeah, but no, I'm about 25 years older than you. Yeah, I'd be embarrassed if you were my son. Yeah, but what I will tell you, yeah, a
Mm.
lesson I've learned. Yeah, if something sounds too fucking outrageous, it's because it's not fucking true.
So this is why you are suspicious and being investigated because you're
I'm
ignoring
not being
evidence.
investigated by anybody.
You fucking are, you stupid, dangerous woman.
So who am I being investigated by?
Fucking loads of people because you're a fucking criminal. You're silencing child abuse.
Who?
Loads of people. Loads of people. Loads.
Who?
Babs, loads of people. Why does it matter the fucking individual people's names?
Who is investigating me?
All I'm saying is you are being investigated, Babs.
I'm not being investigated by fucking nobody.
You are, and you are being exposed for your...
You forget that I speak to the police regularly. So I know I'm not being investigated.
The police? What, one person, two people? How many police do you speak to? There's hundreds, there's thousands of police.
What? And you don't think that it would have to be... Shut up, Jake. Do you know the ones that are being investigated are you and Kaylee?
Okay.
And not just by the police, by a lot higher than the police.
So when you say something's unbelievable, this has been upheld, yeah? These retractions were upheld by two different reports.
They weren't. No, they weren't.
They were upheld as forced retractions. They were upheld as being fake, misleading, total false retractions by multiple reports. Two from the IPCC, the Independent Police Complaints Commission.
So boring.
One by Kylie Wilson, a private investigator who was employed as 20 years experience.
Do you know what? I am recording this, and I'm going to the police this afternoon again. I spoke to them yesterday about you two, and I'm going to tell them today.
So, Rule Britannia, would you like to come on panel? Would you like to present some sort of information to suggest this claim? No, it wasn't upheld by the IPCC. It was upheld twice by the IPCC. There was two reports. I have the reports, 2015, 2016. You're so stupid, Rule. Rule Britannia. What a fucking pathetic name. What an absolutely pathetic name of all the fucking names as well. You're an absolute mug, Rule Britannia. Absolute stupid paedophile protecting, child murder enabling and protecting and likely partaking in. And just because the demons give you temporary, whatever you want to call it, results, you think that this is going to give you any prosperity and that it isn't going to fucking come and crash down and eat you up.
Can you hear me now?
Have a chance.
Can you hear me now?
I can now, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
We couldn't hear you for a while. No, there was nothing. Now we can hear you, yes.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I had a phone call. As I was saying, I am recording this, and I am going into the police this afternoon, and I'm going to tell them that they need to deal with you.
Do you realise how quickly you responded? Do you realise how quickly?
You cannot turn around and keep calling people paedophiles because they don't want to believe your fucking story about Hampstead.
It's not my story.
It's fucking wrong, and it's
not my story.
Evil.
It's not my story. It is evidence. It is child testimony evidence and supported by a... So what about the foster care report? After the retractions, when the children said They disclosed to her they couldn't sleep. They were having nightmares of the dad coming to kill them. They were told how
Oh, for
the
God's
year
sake.
4
Do
teacher.
you not think that
They were
the kids
told.
might have been having nightmares?
I'm going to sort
But
of
nightmares
remove. I'm
don't
going to
mean to
remove
say
you a
it's
second, Babs.
fucking real.
I'm just removing you for interrupting me. The foster carer wrote after these alleged retractions, which were upheld by the IPCC as being forced, like led was the word they used, and them being insufficient, incomplete compared to the compared to the allegations, were totally meaningless, and they did not correlate with one another, whereas all the allegations did. Certain words get me muddled up. The retractions did not correlate. So they are baseless, whereas the judge then went forward with a fraud hearing in the wrong court, did not go through judicial process, and said that the allegations were baseless based on total misleading presentation of what evidence was available. Then, what was the bit I was just going to follow up on? I said a lot in one go, didn't I? What was the bit you just mentioned? What was the other bit you said? Sorry, that I was going to respond to.
I don't know. Couldn't give a fuck. Couldn't give a fuck, yeah? Nobody has to believe your bullshit, Jake. There is no law out there that says, unless you believe Jake Clark and Kaylee Inav, you're a paedophile. There's no law out there that says that.
Her name's actually
Stop
pronounced
it.
Anav. It's pronounced Anav.
Couldn't give a fuck, Inav. Cunt.
Do you know how Gary's surname is pronounced? Is it Brian or Brian?
No, do you think I'm giving you anything?
I was hoping so.
I
Yeah, I wouldn't
wouldn't
ask.
give you the. All you deserve is the fucking shit off the fucking people's asses. You are a fucking horrible, horrible cunt. You know, and
Vile
I've
man.
never felt that about anybody. Okay, I don't like Esau. Okay, I don't like fucking Gash. Yeah, but I don't hate them. But I do fucking hate you two. You two are fucking vile.
What
And
about
I'm
if
fucking
they spoke out about
ashamed that I
if they
even have to fucking. Ugh,
if
you
they, if
are
they
just
spoke out
vile.
if they spoke out about Hampstead, you'd probably hate them then, wouldn't you?
Spoke out about Hampstead who?
If Izzy had the
Who
courage.
was Hampstead?
If
It's to do
Izzy
with
had
the
the courage.
way that you two have to have everybody believe in you or they're paedophiles. It's one or the other.
No, paedophile enablers.
Yes!
No, paedophile enablers. Anyone who doesn't believe the children is enabling paedophiles.
That doesn't. Jake, I tried to tell you about a year and a half ago. Do you remember sitting on a panel with me and me saying to you, Jake, not everybody has to believe everybody else's beliefs. That's what makes us individual humans. What you and
Work like
Kylie
that.
want
It
is
doesn't
you
work like
want
that.
robots. You want yes people. You want people to turn around and yes, Jake, you're right, Jake. Yes, Jake. Yes, Kaylee, you're right, Kaylee. I'll be behind you, Kaylee. I'll follow
Yeah.
you, Kaylee. I'll
No.
spread all your fucking bullshit, Kaylee.
Hey,
It's not
can
gonna happen.
I say something, please? So you could. I'm sure you probably have some interests that are valid somewhere. But when it's like saying if Jimmy Savile was here and somebody was like, no, we've got proof of him raping these children, and you're like, but I think he's cool. I don't really want to believe that. Can we just get on with what we believed about him before? Like, is that okay for people to have two different opposing opinions about that?
Sorry, my new bed has just turned up. So, if you can wait 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I'll just get it in the door and then I'll come back on.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
There are 3 microphones. Yeah, that's one. There are 2 more microphones. You got one.
One there.
Yeah.
And one there.
That's 2. And then the last one. See that wire hanging down? That's it. That's 3. And here Although we've done 2 interviews before, and they always had 2 cameras, didn't they? This one's got 3. And the reason it's got 3 is because this shows slightly differently.
Because it's like more far away.
That may be one of the reasons. It's because we're not in London. They just set their. This is in Suffolk where we are. We're a place called Rowan House in Suffolk, and they just maybe just set their suites up differently, their rooms up differently. But their cameras do 3 things. First one, see that one there? You see it's up on a box there underneath. That's because it can move about, and that's like got all the machinery so it can move about. And that one looks at me. Okay.
That
See, yeah, it's pointing straight at me. And then there's another one that's exactly the same there, and that one's looking at you.
Can it move about?
It can move about, and that's just in case you want to draw something or write something, okay? And then the top one, see the smaller one, that one shows the whole room, okay? So that one, so it shows that there's no one else here, or if someone moves about, okay? So that's why they're there. I'd just like to I know you've done these interviews before because you've done them with me.
Yeah.
Just to introduce everyone who's involved. My name's Steve, and I'm a policeman. And I work in Barnet, okay, which is in London. The other chap, do you remember his name?
Matt.
No, it's not Matt. I do work with Matt. That one's Carl.
Oh, yeah.
Carl, yeah.
Yeah.
And that just leaves you. Sorry?
Is he a policeman?
He is, yes, he's a policeman, yeah. And then there's you. Can you just give us your full name, please?
Gabriel Garrido, and that's why. No, Gabriel Garrido.
Gareve, yeah.
Yeah, but at least it's a Gariba.
That's because she's a girl. Yeah. So that's your name. So today's date is the 17th of September, and it's 14 minutes past 11.
Yeah.
And I said we're here in Suffolk.
When is it done? When is it midday?
Midday is 12 because it's.
Oh, it's not yet.
No, we've got about 40 minutes. We've got 45 minutes till noon. Because middle of the day, because it's halfway through, isn't it? So
yeah.
12's half of 24, isn't it?
How long is it going to take?
It depends how much. I won't go too long. If you get a little bit tired, you tell me, then we'll stop. Yeah? So if you say, oh, I've had enough, we'll stop.
Or I'm tired.
If you're tired, yeah. So if you say to me, I'm tired, or I've had enough, we'll stop.
Okay.
Yeah, I promise. And there are some rules we need to go before we talk. Can you remember what those rules are?
One rule is not to lie.
Not to lie, yeah.
Second rule is to speak loud.
That is important to speak loud. It isn't one of the rules. That should be one of the rules. Maybe we should add that one in, speak loud.
Okay.
I'll remind you the rules and then you tell me. But so the one you remembered obviously is don't lie. But the first one is I wasn't there, so I need you to tell me everything that you can. Okay.
Clyde, Jeanette Archer was not the start of anything. Pete took you to the start. So what's this? What's this start? Then Jeanette Archer was well into. It was like 7-8 years after she spoke out about her supposed abuse, which is totally unrelated, other than being of similar methodologies or whatever. And the thing is, when you bear in mind any testimonies of people that they're suffering and they might have visions of their experiences of aliens and stuff as children, I'm not going to discount them on write anyone off or anything, but these children, they're forced to take drugs. The abusers dress up in various costumes and things intentionally to create scenarios. They may create even like loads of it happens in Hollywood. They could do stuff in spaceships. They could have cranes that lower stuff down. They can sadly do a lot of stuff. No, I'm not going to discuss Jeanette Archer. I already am, so maybe that comment's a bit older, but that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to explain what I think of her or anything. I'm just going to say that I'm dealing with the testimony of children that have proven child rape, trafficking, and ritual murder. We don't need to go into theories and other different. Oh, lovely stuff, Kaylee. Thank you. And other testimonies of adults, which is great. We'll get to that when this is dealt with. But we are just sticking to the. We have a job in hand. So this is just proving that the testimonies were forced. They did not correlate, etc., etc.
Okay. And the next one was, if you don't know the answer,
Yeah.
what do you say?
I don't understand it.
Yeah. Will you say that I'm not sure what the answer is, or I don't understand? Yeah. If you don't understand, you tell me. Okay.
If you don't understand, tell me.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say next. Then there's don't lie. We must tell the truth. Okay. And you told me a bit about the difference between the truth and lie before, haven't you? So we won't go over that again. But when here, we're telling the truth. Yeah. Okay. And the next one. What about swear words? Are you allowed to swear if you're in this room? Yeah.
When you say they never be released to the public, so when you're saying they would never be released, they have been. So that's just disproving your statement in the statement itself. So you could say they wouldn't officially be released, which is the case, yeah. And there's obviously circumstances which made them be released because for obvious reasons. So it's like Katie says, you're just trying too hard to try and it's called clutching. There's a real very simple term for it. It's clutching. Yeah, when there's actually something to grab onto, there's clutching at straws. When you're actually pulling onto something, it's an analogy or a metaphor of holding onto like a bale of straw, and you're only just holding on. There's just a few little straw bales that you're holding onto. Oh no, I think it's actually maybe when you fall into the water and you straw somewhere. You're hanging on to straws anyway, but this is less than straws. You're just clutching at nothing. You're just making up stuff. Just clutching.
And the paper, who's that there for to use?
It's for me.
For both of us, yeah. So if either of us want to use it, we can. Okay. So when was it?
Have you been here long, Babs? Were you there the whole time? I can't remember now.
In the car, you desperate. You wanted to tell me something, but I asked you to wait till we got here before we talked. So what is it you really?
And just she's got 2 accounts. So here the body language itself is very telling, and you'll see the girl after. She's very. You can tell she's clearly sedated. Very, very unwell compared to the allegations where she was very, very eager and clear in her. So I'm shocked Jake has turned his back on Jeanette Archer. I never said I'd turn my back on anyone. I said we'll get to the adults' testimonies after we've dealt with the evidence that's very easily provable, upheld everywhere. Everyone knows about it. Who cares enough to consider the truth and actively make an effort towards upholding it and speaking for the children. Adults, when they're going with memories of being drugged up as children, is not a clear-cut case to deal with, and that they can be dealt with in their own. And there's other people working on those. So, you're just writing her name again. So why are you working for the NHS? Jeanette Archer has said the NHS is a satanic institution. I said we're not going to discuss what Jeanette Archer thinks about things. So, fuck off, guys. Stop distracting me.
You wanted to tell me.
So Abraham, he accused me. like when he said that your dad hurt you much.
Yeah.
Does he hurt you really bad? And I say no, he does. And then he said yes, he does. He accuses me.
Okay. And then what happens?
And then he says yes, your dad does hit you really hard.
Yeah.
And I said no, he doesn't hit me hard.
Okay.
He hits me softly, so I like it. Just to remind me.
Okay. So what was it? We talked in 2 other interviews before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Was what you told me the truth?
Yeah.
You said, this bit's so profound. He says, "Oh, Babs, hello, Babs."
Oh,
Well,
fuck.
No,
Um,
it's all right.
right, okay. So I'm not staying because it is too glorious to be out to be on a platform talking to some idiot. But I am gonna say this to you, Jake. Think about your life. Think about what you're doing. Yeah. When you came back roughly 18, 20 months ago, I'd never heard of you. You seemed a bit, I don't know, you seemed a bit out there right from the start. But since you've been on this journey, you've gone downhill and downhill and downhill. Now, I believe that is the influence of Voldemort. Think about who you're getting involved with, Jake, because do you want to end up in prison? Because you keep doing this is what's going to happen.
Voldemort is the enemy of Harry Potter.
Voldemort is Kaylee. You know who Voldemort is. Don't try to right. You get upset. You get upset when Kaylee gets called names. Yet you'll call other people names, and you don't like it when other people get upset about that. You can't have it both ways, Jake. Life
Okay,
don't work like that.
I'll reflect on my behaviour. Thank you for your time. Are you going to go and have a lovely day?
You what? So
You said you're off.
what I'm trying to say to you, Jake, yeah, is
Mhm.
not everybody has to think. Right, think about a story. Think about a story that's in the news that's not even controversial. Think about a story. Is there not always two sides? You never heard of that saying? There's always two sides to a story. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what this is. There's two sides to Hampstead. The people that believe it and the people that don't believe it. You and Voldemort label the people that don't believe it all as paedophiles, and that's not acceptable. I
No,
wouldn't
we
turn
don't. We
around
don't
if
label
there
them
was
as
a story.
paedophiles.
Hang on.
Paedophiles
I'll
are
be 2
enablers.
seconds.
Enablers.
I'll be
It's
2
proven.
seconds.
Babs, it's proven. You have to disprove something to have a valid opinion on it.
Oh my God! You don't. No, you don't, Jake. People are allowed to not believe it, even if you think it's been proven. Because to
No,
some
you
people,
don't.
it's not been
Well,
proven
yeah,
in the
you can
right
do that, but
way.
you can profess not to believe it. You can be called a paedophile enabler or a dumb
No, you
cunt,
can't. You cannot
a
be called a
satanic.
paedophile enabler.
Yes, you can. You can be said that
No,
you are a
you
whore for
can't.
Satan. As an analogy, you can be saying that you are a whore for Satan as a concept. It's like an archetype.
A whore for Satan. Is that what you
Yes,
just said to me?
that's what I would say. Yes, is a good descriptive
Of
for somebody who speaks against the children's testimony when it's been proven and they are not bringing
right,
anything to suggest
okay.
otherwise.
So hang on a minute. So if it's been proven, remember,
Yeah,
remember that word, yeah?
yeah.
Why is Ricky Dearman not in prison?
What happened to Jimmy Savile?
What do you mean? What happened to Jimmy Savile? Jimmy Savile died, and then it all came out.
So, what, the children were never raped when he was alive?
Oh my God, you can't turn around and compare the two. The man was a fucking prolific paedophile. There's fucking years and years and years worth of evidence against Jimmy Savile.
Where did it come from then? Where was it when he was alive?
Because people like Esther Ranson, the fucking asshole, didn't want to didn't want to go along with it. She wanted to hide it. The BBC wanted to hide it because the BBC are fucking corrupt. The BBC are fucking paedophile fucking enablers. They're paedophile enablers. The BBC, well proven paedophile enablers.
Okay. So when you say that, so this is actually on the BBC's channel.
What is?
And Ricky Dearman,
Yeah.
23
Ricky
minutes.
Dearman what?
Yeah, he got
September.
23 minutes on the BBC, like BBC's channel.
Yeah. What?
BBC,
What?
BBC
Saying
News.
that he raped the kids.
What do you think?
Honestly, you just cannot. You.
September, and I can't remember how, but I found out that the police were looking for me. It might have been social services got in touch with me, and said that you need to go
Jake,
to
I want to
steps.
go out. What is this
Mhm.
supposed to be proving?
So you just said the BBC are liars and protect paedophiles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're not. Oh, look at the amount of people. Yeah, this isn't to do with the BBC. This is to do with him telling his story. And see,
Okay, I think you should leave.
where you run down, where you go too low is when you mention hundreds of teachers' names. You mention hundreds of people in the school. I've heard you mentioning their names many times. I've got all the names that you've mentioned written down. Yeah, I've written those names down for a reason, because I believe they have a case against you and her for slander.
Okay,
And
thanks for your time.
I'll be the first one to offer my help to them.
Okay, have a lovely day, yeah? Go and catch some sunshine.
Jake, I'm not going anywhere. Not until you turn around and you start accepting that people don't have to believe your story.
People are going to want to kill you very soon, Babs. People already want to kill you. Like you're enabling the most horrific abuse of children. It's actually it's almost surreal.
Do you know that people are going to want to kill you and Kaylee? Well, they already want to kill Kaylee.
Okay.
You
Okay,
know
I think
that?
I don't know if there's much more to say really today.
Well, just because you don't like it, because everything I have said is fact and truth. What you come out with, see, this is another thing that drives me mad. Why do you have to revert to this all the time? Do you
Well,
not
it's one of the
think
primary
that
pieces of
those
evidence.
two children that are not children anymore, do you not think that they have the right to get on with their lives without this being played morning, noon and night? Because that's what you two do.
Yeah, you're lying. See, now you're enabling paedophiles again by silencing children.
I'm lying. What, that you don't play this morning, noon and night?
No, but you said that we're abusing them by playing it. You're
You
trying
are.
to. No, but by saying that, you're trying to silence us playing him, which would be protecting
Do you not think
paedophiles.
that they got the right to get on with their lives, Jake?
So you're just irrational. You're not being logical because you're not looking at you're not looking at what we've discussed previously. You're not accepting the reality.
There's no hope for you, Jake, is there? There's literally no hope for you.
Okay, well, I'll reflect on what you
Your
say.
mum must be on tablets through worry about you.
Possible. We'll find out. Maybe in time we can discuss these things.
I don't want to discuss your mum with you, but you and Kaylee want to discuss people's children with them, don't you? Daily, hourly.
Well, that's our job. So yeah.
That's your job. You don't have a job, Jake. You're
Well,
on
I do.
universal credit, the same as her.
I have various jobs and I get paid by the NHS for work also.
Well, I tell you something. I'm going to be looking into that, because if that is true, that's very, very, very dangerous. Because
Hmm.
someone like you shouldn't be giving help to anybody, especially anything to do with children, because you are a fucking paedophile. And that is what I think, and
No,
that's how I feel. You've been arrested. You're on bail, not allowed to talk to any children. So, how can you be doing a job for the NHS to do with children?
because that was a fraud arrest. It was totally it was misleading. It was wrong information that the police were handed, and they dealt with it thankfully because they're good. Thankfully, not a paedophile ring in my local police child protection unit, which is they are in Barnet, and they got my devices as a matter of due course, and it was brilliant because I was relieved for them to be able to hand over so much, many gigabytes, over terabytes, multiple terabytes of recorded information of paedophile enablers, much of it yourself. And these people, these ones that don't show their voices and faces in these comments.
Much of it myself.
Yeah,
Jake, you've got nothing on me.
we've got so much on you, Barbara, if that's your
You've
real
got
name.
nothing on me.
So much
Jake,
on you.
Jake, like I told you, I had a conversation with the police yesterday. I'm going to be going into the police today, because
How
I'm
many
going on a
police are
walk,
there?
and my walk takes me past the police station. So I'll be popping this into them.
There's so many different police, Babs. I'll take you on face
I
value that you're
don't give a
being
fuck,
sincere.
Jake. Yeah? There, you have got nothing on me to do with paedophilia.
Oh, sorry, I just saw your private chat messages. It's I had to change the screen. So 17 minutes ago, let me on, and then let me on as I want to go out. You're very
Yeah?
unique. I feel really sorry for you. You're very like rude. You know the way you talk.
Rude. I'm
Yeah.
rude.
Mhm.
I'm only rude to you and her,
No, you
because
talk
you
like
don't
no.
deserve to be spoken to any other way.
No, you talk
Neither of
kindly to
you.
paedophiles. No, you talk kindly to paedophiles and child abuse protectors, child
But
abusers,
so do
child
you.
abusers. No, we don't.
You talk kindly to paedophiles, because let me see. Oh, you're best friends with Matt Taylor. You're best friends with
No, I'm not. I'm not
a
best
few
friends with.
other people. A few
No, I've
other
met Matt.
people.
No, I've met Matt once or twice. I don't even go on his live streams. I'm not best friends with him. I
But you
respect
big
him.
up Matt Taylor, and
Yeah,
Matt Taylor is a
I
paedophile.
respect his work, and he's not a
Oh,
paedophile.
you
He was
respect
set
him.
up,
I don't even come into that fucking class. You
and
fucking
the day
respect a
one of the
paedophile.
2 days that I met Matt, I met Ricky Dearman as well. The only time I've met Ricky Dearman in person.
Oh, Ricky Dearman. Is that why he's got? Hang on. Is that why? Is that why he put? Is that why Ricky Dearman put some sort of an order out on you?
No, this was after that.
And it's possible that something else could be being done at the moment, right now.
Yeah, it's always a possibility, isn't it?
Yeah, always is a possibility, Jake. But
Or not.
you
It
make
depends
me
on that.
laugh the way that you turn around and you say, oh, you speak nicely to paedophiles. You speak nicely to paedophiles. I don't speak to any paedophiles.
No, I have
I
to take
would
that back.
never.
No, you're correct. You're correct. Actually, Ricky Dearman, I actually said that I loved him universally, and he said that he actually loved me. Ricky Dearman, actually, about 3 feet away from me, said he loves me. He actually said, I love you, Jake. In a reactive, aggressive way, because he was thrown off by my universal loving,
Oh,
thing.
I can't listen to your bullshit, Jake.
No,
Just
he told
stop
me he
it.
loves me. Ricky Dearman
Stop
told me
it.
he loves me.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He fucking hates you just as much as I do.
Well, he's a
If
very
not,
insincere person.
if not a lot more, because of what you and her have done to him,
But he's a
and
career.
to
He's a
what
career.
he's done to what you and her have done to his children.
But the BBC cover up paedophilia, don't they?
You're absolutely unbelievable, Jake. Well, I don't even know what. I don't even know how
Except
to talk to you because you are a fucking.
I'm
You
okay
are a.
with what they said.
Yeah, I'm going out
It
because I'm
was
getting wound up. You're a cunt.
it's more
Believe
that it's
me,
come from my children.
this is being handed into the police as well.
They said,
Okay, we're just drawing love hearts on his face. Love to you, Ricky. Love to you, Victoria. You sneaky whore for Satan. Bless you. Hopefully you
Only
repent.
whore for Satan is Kaylee Enav.
Oh, that's me. You're lie. That's you lie. Why? What justification have you got for saying such a thing?
Oh, what justification have you got to say for a thing? What justification? Do you know this woman?
Well, I
Do
know
you
what
know
I know what
me?
she's done. I know what she's done. I know what
Do
she's
you know
doing.
Rebecca?
Has she
Do
spoken
you
out
know
to?
Jupiter?
Has she spoken out to apologise for what she did here, platforming Ricky Dearman?
I'm the leader of a satanic
What?
sex cult
Oh, where is that
paedophile
then,
ring.
Jake?
And there's
Where's that? Where can I see that she withdrew and she admitted that Ricky Dearman is a paedophile? Where
No, I
can
said
I
has she.
find that?
I said has she? No, she hasn't. So she's still a whore for Satan. And I don't believe in Satan as a
like
concept.
Hayley Inav.
I'm saying, hey, Satan, the concept that's been created. I don't necessarily believe it as a
Hayley
cut and
Inav
dry,
is a
black and
whore
white
for
thing.
Satan.
I'm saying that we're using this analogy that Satan,
Hayley
what has been
Inav
interpreted as
is
Satan.
a whore for Satan.
Ricky's a whore for Satan. Ricky sells his soul. He sells his children, their innocence, he sells children for money to be raped. And that's satanic. It's material lust. So Satan represents Saturn. It's about self. It's about the material, but it doesn't have to be evil.
You really are vile, aren't you?
But it's when it's expressed as an evil entity.
I actually feel sorry for you because you know not what you've done. You know not what you've done, but you will.
Okay,
you will.
Thanks.
You are going to fucking pay for this.
100 plus involvement in this.
Oh, not over 100 people named. Oh, you wouldn't go. Oh, there couldn't be 100 people named in a paedophile ring, could there? You wouldn't get teachers. Teachers wouldn't be paedophiles. No, definitely not teachers. Not a priest. Not Father Paul Conrad. Not his partner. Not a female. You wouldn't get a female that was involved in the church being a paedophile ever, would you, Babs? All about the caretaker, who's really big and strong and has lots of the keys.
Would you ever get a couple, one from Elmswell and the other one from, the planet fucking Satan? Would you ever get them being paedophiles? Yeah, I think you would. You two are a fucking danger.
I think on that note, I'm going to remove you because you're just being rude now.
You're a danger. You're a paedophile, and so is she.
I wish you well. Universal love.
She is a paedophile.
Do you want to go on your own accord, or should I remove you, Babs?
Hayley Inav is a paedophile.
Try and have a good day. I don't want. You're a ridicule. You are the ridicule.
Is a whore of Satan.
You're making a joke of yourself.
For Satan.
You're shitting on your existence, your whole life, being, your soul incarnation.
Like I said at the birth, the amount of hate that I feel for you is unreal. Yeah, I wish every bad thing for you and her. She is a whore of Satan.
I wish you the best. Massive love, yeah?
Go fuck yourself, you fucking nonce.
Okay. Shall I remove you or are you going to go? Yeah. Okay, you've gone. Thanks. Bye.
Turning point occurred when Catherine accompanied Stuart to a medical conference in Chicago. Despite her intense fear of flying, she boarded the plane. There, while visiting the ancient Egyptian exhibit at the Art Museum, Catherine surprisingly corrected the guide about the artifacts with uncanny certainty. Although she had never formally studied Egyptian history, she felt incredibly familiar with the exhibits. Upon returning to Miami, Catherine reluctantly agreed to Dr. Weiss's suggestion of hypnosis, something she had previously refused due to fear of losing control. With his experience of hypnotizing hundreds of patients to access deep memories, he guided Catherine into a state of deep relaxation. There, she recalled traumatic events that seemed long forgotten, being pushed off a diving board into a swimming pool at age 5, panicking and choking, a terrible experience at the dentist at age 6. But most haunting was the memory at age 3, her drunk father sneaking into her room and molesting her. Catherine couldn't cry out because he covered her mouth. She choked, and that memory had been buried for years. Weiss believed this was the root cause of her current panic attacks and phobias. He hoped this recollection would bring about a miraculous therapeutic effect. However, just 1 week later, Catherine returned with her fears still intact. The doors he thought he had opened remained firmly shut. That's when he decided, he had to go deeper, beyond the boundaries of ordinary memory. It was a journey no one had led him to, but Catherine herself was opening the way. Chapter 2, Memories Not of the Present. Despite Catherine's profound self-insights throughout 18 months of therapy, all her symptoms remained undiminished. Sessions took place once or twice a week, where I explored her feelings, thoughts, and even strange dreams with her. Catherine gradually recalled more buried details from her past, from her fear of abandonment due to her father's frequent absences, to his occasional violent outbursts when drunk. She also began to understand her complex relationship with Stuart, her current lover, who had repeatedly hurt her deeply during their 6 years of deceitful and manipulative romance. Normally, such clear insights would be enough to help a patient improve. But Catherine was different. She remained obsessed with death, afraid of darkness and choking, and her panic attacks persisted. Her sleep was not restful, and vivid nightmares clung to her mind. Despite my patience, I gradually felt as if I was hitting an insurmountable wall. However, alongside this sense of frustration came an even greater determination. I knew I couldn't give up. A turning point occurred when Catherine, despite her intense fear of flying, accompanied Stuart to a medical conference in Chicago in the spring of 1982. During that trip, she persuaded Stuart to visit an ancient Egyptian exhibit at the Art Museum. While the guide was introducing the artifacts, Catherine interrupted and corrected him with surprising accuracy. She had no academic knowledge of ancient Egyptian civilization, but every detail in her memory appeared familiar, as if she had lived there. This experience led her to reconsider my suggestion of hypnosis, which she had resisted for months. I viewed hypnosis as a useful scientific tool, not mysterious at all, simply a state of deep relaxation that helps patients easily recall buried or repressed memories. I had used this method to help many patients overcome fears, change bad habits, and regress to early childhood. Catherine was initially hesitant, fearing loss of control, but after the strange museum experience, she agreed. In the first hypnosis session, Catherine quickly fell into a deep state of relaxation. She recounted a traumatic experience at the dentist at age 6, then recalled a panicked incident when she was pushed into a swimming pool at age 5. But the most painful memory was at age 3, her drunk father sneaking into her room and molesting her. Catherine couldn't cry out because he covered her mouth. She choked, and that memory had been buried for years. I believe this was the root of her fear of choking and darkness that constantly tormented her. I hoped that by unearthing this memory, Catherine would show significant improvement. However, 1 week later, all her symptoms remained intact. There were no signs of remission. Catherine still had nightmares, still feared water and the feeling of being trapped. I was deeply perplexed. Could there be something deeper in her mind, beyond the boundaries of current memory? I decided to hypnotize her deeper, and this time gave a special instruction: go back to the time from which your symptoms arise. Catherine's reaction stunned me. She began to describe a scene not from her present life. She was an 18-year-old maiden named Aranda, living in 1863 BC, in a barren and hot valley. She described rough clothing, a bustling marketplace, and surrounding hills. When instructed to move forward to age 25, she mentioned a daughter named Cleistra whom she affirmed was her niece in her current life, Rachel. I could barely believe my ears. Catherine showed no signs of mental illness or delusion. She was not prone to fantasies, nor capable of such sophisticated acting. When she described her death as Rhonda drowning in a flood while trying to save her daughter, I realized what she was experiencing was too vivid to be false. After death, she saw herself floating with her daughter and others from her village, as if in an in-between realm. That memory carried a strangely solemn feeling. I didn't know what was truly happening, but I also couldn't deny the healing power this memory brought. Catherine had stepped into another world, and I, the guide in the therapeutic process, had become the one being guided. Chapter 3, The Gateway to Ancient Lives. Faced with Catherine's description.
Should we have a break between chapters? Could be a good idea, couldn't it?
Stations. They were talking about that woman that went on Good Morning Britain. I can't remember her name, the Asian lady, and she was saying that she came into one of the major stations in London, and she was getting a coffee, and there was this white guy that was going to the protest, and the fucking story. And he summed it up for me. He was like, "What an absolute liberty." You know, these brown people shocked that white people were in London.
Yeah.
What are they doing here? Why do they want to? Why do they want to fly a flag? And then, you know, to go, because I'm just worried about the safety of my young brown son. And I'm thinking, well, we're worried about the safety of our young white children. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the sun. It was a
Okay, Gordo. See you in a little while.
people with flags and people going to a march. What the hell's wrong with these? I don't get it. Oh,
But
and then you know
Go
that
on.
group of men who were on stage and they were doing that funny dance. You know who I mean.
Oh, Triller had a meltdown last night over that. I was over on Triller's.
Because they
Oh,
tore
yeah.
up some flag, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen the way they were going on Savita and all them on TikTok, right? You'd have thought they'd committed the biggest crime ever.
Well, she can shut up. She thought it was all right to burn the poppy.
Well, this is what I'm saying. And they think it's all right to burn the Union Jack as well.
We covered this. Go back to when you were asking me previously. I don't need to go over it again.
So,
But yeah, they don't like it. It's put the fear of God into them. And I don't know why.
because Wendy, if you'd have seen it, you would know that there was well over 1 million people there. All this, oh, no, it's lots. I'm telling you, there was well over 1 million people there.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't
But
say
why-
3 million. I think
Yeah,
that's
but
going
why
over
would
the
these
top.
other people then shoot? Because look at for the last 2 years we've had all these massive rallies with Palestine and all that, right? We have one, and they all get terrified. Do you know what I mean? And claim all of a sudden that attacks are going up and people are being attacked. I thought, no, they're not.
Yeah, they're talking bullshit, but the thing is, Wendy, right, I ain't got time for that no more. None of us got time for it no more. You know,
No, it just
the
showed me
fact
how
of the
they
matter is,
confuse
we've had
us.
years and years and years of terrorism, right? And then when the terrorist attacks stopped, well, they haven't actually completely stopped, have they? But, you know, when they stopped being as fucking close together, we then had all the uncovering of the grooming gangs, which are still going on today.
Yeah.
Then all the policies of the government with the positive discrimination and how we can't fly our flags and being called racist by our own prime minister
Yeah.
and all of the other stuff, right?
You're an extreme male version of these narcissist, self-absorbed, arrogant, ignorant, abusive people that I pity them, I feel sorry for them, and I wish them universal love and prayers and goodwill and all that. But their behaviour needs to be addressed. And yours, Clyde, your note to self, this just total brazen. You just think that you are just so in control and so powerful and just have the entitlement And even if you've got loads of money, whatever the reason why this is, whatever abuse you've been through that's created you, you are what you are, and you are this character now. If you can't see that, you think like, well, you know, you lie for a starters. You know, you profess things that are not true, and you make claims, and you refuse evidence and all this. So that's like making a claim when you try and disprove something without disproving it. So that's lying. So all in one, you are disproving. You are all these things that overlap, and this entitlement and this brazen bullyish attitude. This is why I play Michaela a lot, because and allow Babs to come on and just expose herself. And I clipped that thing out yesterday saying, why do you think words aren't powerful, blah blah blah, if they're not, you know, what's this about abuse, and why can't people just joke about going for lunch with Ricky Dearman and blah blah blah. It's just this entitlement, and largely it does seem to be the white community that have suffered it because of you know, cultural and racial and geographical dynamics. But also, there's black people that fall into this a lot as well. Yeah, they're definitely just, especially when money gets involved or attention. Definitely a big thing is just about people who want attention. It's a huge, huge problem. It's almost like a defect in humanity's, well, it is definitely a defect, but it's like in the blueprint of the divinity, of the beautiful divinity, which is so available and potential. And that's just this one. Bow hunting is environmentally friendly. Eat meat, skin that makes winter crows and rugs and heaps and heads mount wonderfully on the wall. So this is just another entitlement. So you, instead of relating to anything I was talking about, you just come back with a statement affirming your entitlement. If they cause extreme environmental problems in the forests. See, you bring nothing of substance, nothing to substantiate why, if someone's even making that claim, how has this even come about as a potential concept that's ever been written or articles about? There's articles about all sorts of shit, Clyde, about. There's people that are called maps, and they write articles about minor attracted people. And you might say, oh, why is it Jake bringing it straight back to paedophilia again? But it's quite the relevant topic, isn't it? And the reason why my channel exists. So yeah, I will relate exploitation and entitlement to treat other sentient beings the same as the entitlement and abuse of other sentient human beings, innocent human beings. So yeah, shut the fuck up.
I ain't got time for it no more. Yes, I think it's wrong if someone's abused because of their skin colour or where they come from. Yes, I agree that it's not nice if people say nasty things to you, but nasty words up against girls getting raped, I think I'll prioritise the rape issue and sort that out. But the government are not doing it. You know, when you're talking about...
And see, this is the reason I clipped this one out, was just her saying she's using victims to fulfill this this sick addiction of having attention online, because she knows it's an issue that people want to feel like they are relevantly partaking in. Yet when there's cases presented to you with all the affirming evidence, all the evidence, everything around it, regardless of even with the evidence that proves the children from their own words, and all the documentation, which you swerved watching the interviews, let alone even what's the word? Let alone had the, you know, would you even, you know, what's the word when you? I'm trying to. It's like there's a sarcastic term for even read a document, like even made the effort to read a document, and yet you. Make it, you know, I lost train of thought. Everything else around it, all the paedophiles that you then have on your platform, like Wallace, and this All Eyes on You, who I recently realised is very suspicious, going on AJ's channel saying big up AJ, or whatever it was, So yeah, all eyes on you is under investigation, along with you, Babs, along with of course Wallace Hoogley, the male that I thought was Gary until I saw Gary typing right next to him yesterday in the chat, but that could still be well be possible. There's still Wallace has just chatted in this one I'm watching now. Jojo, oh, this is recording. UK painful. Oh, Jojo, sorry, her name's Jojo UK. Painful, but I've had worse pain, and hopefully it sorts the constant pain I had with arthritis. I had a very good surgeon, so I hope it is successful. Evidently, a knee replacement is worse. Stupid Wallace.
And action and violence. You know,
Well,
that's what should be prioritised.
They was all accused.
Obviously, only a couple of weeks ago, showing Gary O'Brien's wavy comment, wavies as wavy on the screen. Danny Hoax, police, Hoax Jones, as you call him, Linda Morden, who you still incessantly, relentlessly, and will be held imminently accountable for, calling him that. It is paedophile enabling bullshit. All for this little. If you're not directly involved in any other criminal way, what you have done here is absolutely criminal. Let alone the individual abuses of a survivor and an innocent woman like Kaylee, and using her name every time you've used her name, slandered her. The slander is like the base. This is like the foundational aspect. This is like easy, clean cut slander, the abuse. But we're not pursuing that shit because we have to address the foundational truths, which will make this very, very easily clean cut provable as to what you've been doing here. So things have certain different orders that are going to have to be addressed in to get the proper judicial process back in order, get the courts cleaned up. And there was a brilliant, actually on the Young Turks, there was a brilliant article I was trying to show Kay yesterday or the day before. Couldn't find it, couldn't rewind on and it was to do with abuse of power and how sadly psychopaths have been the ones that have been enthusiastic enough to raise to levels of power, and even just being police, be police officers, be lawyers, because it's that power, that ability to have a say over others. So that's been a big problem, sadly. And people like myself who are maybe more humble, maybe a bit more casual about, or a bit less driven as what I wanted to do in life, or the system's already confusing enough as it is. So now finally, I found my dedication, my passion, and we're going to take the place of all the. Babs has entered the studio.
What's the name of the school in Hampstead? I mean, I'm not really bothered because I'll just ring every school in Hampstead. But what is the name of the school in Hampstead that is involved in all of this?
Well, you could find it very easily, like by looking at the allegations of what school was named.
Oh, so you don't want to give me the name?
No, I can give it to you. I'm just saying
fine.
why.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just ring every school in Hampstead.
You just type in satanic hoax, then it will tell you the school that was alleged to have been involved in this made up story.
Got the list in front of me of all the schools in Hampstead. I'm quite happy to sit there for the next 20 minutes before my appointment at the police station. So yeah.
Well, there's actually about 7 schools involved. So there's St John's, I think it's called, or John Wood, St John's, I think, and then there's the Parochio, and the main one is the Hampstead Christ Church Primary School. So there's Parochio. I can't remember off the top of my head now. There's 7 schools involved. They bring certain children from different schools to be raped at Christ Church and different people's houses.
And poor old Elon for inciting violence. he's trying to get them to. He's trying to get us to go in civil war. That's what he's trying to get them to do.
Is where it switched to my recording caught up, so it went to. But it just goes on. There was just that bit about her prioritising the exposure. This is a whole 10-minute recording. It's just it talks about her having arguments with her son and stuff. But I don't need to replay any of this stuff. It's just that clip that we noted. So, did you want to? I don't know if you did. You say you caught up, or did you just jump back in? Maybe did you see when Babs only just literally just came back on just for a moment? She hadn't been on before you came back. I was just playing. You might have missed. I really wanted you to hear this as well. This Many Lives, Many Masters. Did you hear chapter 2 as well already? Or I can send it to you and you just listen to it in your own time as well. Actually, 'cause it's a really good overview. This one, I just found it. Oh, chapter 3.
Chapter 3: The Gateway to Ancient Lives. Faced with Catherine's descriptions during hypnosis of a lifetime as Aranda in ancient Egypt, I couldn't hide my profound bewilderment. As someone trained in rigorous scientific discipline, I had no inclination to believe in reincarnation or past life memories. My mind immediately harbored skepticism. Could this be a product of fantasy, or a sign of a rare psychiatric disorder? But the more I observed, the more I realized that Catherine's manifestations did not fit any psychiatric illness I had encountered in my many years of practice. She had no dissociative symptoms, delusions, or hallucinations. There was no confusion of identity, voice, or loss of consciousness typically seen in multiple personality cases. Nor did she use recreational drugs. In the hypnotic state, Catherine maintained astonishing coherence. Her narrative was neither fragmented nor vague, but full of vivid details, lively descriptions, and genuine emotion. Notably, she had never read books about ancient Egypt or shown any interest in reincarnation. In subsequent therapy sessions, Catherine began to recall more past lives. Each story was completely different in time, place, and identity, but always had a clear connection to her current symptoms. On one occasion, she became Louisa, a Spanish woman in AD 1756. Louisa had been a prostitute and died of a plague of waterborne disease. In another lifetime, Catherine was Johann, a Dutch boy living around 1473, who died in a naval battle after his throat was slit by an enemy. What chilled me was when she recognized her killer in that life as none other than Stuart, the man currently in her life. I was amazed at how these past lives connected to Catherine's specific symptoms. Her fear of water and choking could stem from the deaths of Aranda and Johann. The feeling of being trapped and unable to escape might originate from drowning or being buried. In yet another life, she was Christian, a Welsh sailor who died from a hand injury caused by a fish fin in battle. Catherine had dreamed of a sharp red object embedded in her hand, and the dream image and past life memory surprisingly coincided. She also...
Oh, sorry, I should have been sharing the screen. These details are what's the word when something's anecdotal. That's it, anecdotal. So, but it's the ones when she this soul gave her information about Brian's personal life and the baby that died. The baby, I imagine it must go into it in here. The baby died at 23 days old, like a cot death. And she knew about this death. The soul actually spoke to her, or someone of the souls explained this situation. And then also knew a detail about Brian's father, which she wouldn't have known. She, as a psychologist, he would have no information about his personal life to interfere with the therapy, the work that they're working on together with her around, or any client. So yeah, we'll just let it go on. But yeah, I forgot about how many other details there were, but it's obviously very important to him in the story. But until you hear the other bits that are confirming evidence, it's obviously It's quite speculative.
Also lived as Abby, a black slave in the American South in the late 19th century, who died of a respiratory illness. In that life, Catherine endured oppression, poverty, and severe discrimination. These experiences seem to accumulate in her subconscious and influence her current feelings of helplessness, resignation, and fear. But what happened next was even stranger. At the end of some hypnosis sessions, Catherine entered a completely different state. Her voice became deeper, slow, and powerful, no longer the Catherine I knew. In that state, she no longer recounted memories, but began to transmit profound philosophical messages, sometimes prophecies, but often revelations beyond normal human intellect. I called this state the space between lives, in-between state, where the soul was no longer in the physical world but in a pure spiritual dimension. She revealed personal information that shook me. She knew about my father, Avram's, death from a heart attack. She even knew about the death of my firstborn son, Adam, at only 23 days old, due to an extremely rare heart defect. His heart was backward, like a chicken's. This was a family secret that no one but my wife knew. No medical record, no personal story from me could have given Catherine this information. I was completely stunned. My scientific beliefs began to crumble. Catherine said that Adam's death was a great sacrifice, an act to settle karmic debts between souls, helping me return to the path of psychiatry after a period of interruption. These messages were convincing not only by their content but also by the sense of majesty, serenity, and depth they carried. I no longer doubted that Catherine was becoming a conduit for something beyond ordinary knowledge, a higher intelligence, organized and purposeful. The messages she conveyed were no longer her own, but teachings from somewhere I had never touched in my entire career. And with the presence of the Master's highly evolved souls radiating wisdom and light, the door to knowledge had opened, not only for Catherine but also for myself. Chapter 4, Souls Between Lifetimes. Subsequent therapy sessions not only continued to reveal Catherine's ancient lives but also opened up an entirely different space and intermediate realm between lifetimes.
So what's also why this is so relevant to our work here, besides empowering us and helping us make sense of our individual situations and trying to help you realize there's so many reasons why this is, I feel, important to bring forward to you as a group, because to realize that your souls can do better, to realize there's something beyond this life as well, that it's not just because what it is the Satanists, when in your cults, you believe that you can manipulate energy, and the demons, the negative influences in this life, in this physical realm, will give you misleading information. They will tell you lies. That's why Satan in the physical realm, the atom, in this realm of time, linear time, chronology, it will give you the impression that you can with temptations. It will tempt you if you give something to it, and eventually it's basically your soul. But things like sacrifices, animal sacrifices, breaking love bonds, obviously human sacrifices. So it's trying to catch up with your chat at the same time, but yeah. So are you interested in talking with this about us at all? Or should we leave chapter 4 for a later date? I'm only a part of Katie's cult. I'll say what. It's just so. It's not as superficial. You're just so. Just superficial. Yeah, you're just so superficial. You're just so fake. It's just so fake. So dangerous. You're just relentless. You just don't want to at this time, at this period of time, you do not want to. I mean, how many paedophiles aren't here? How many people are in the cult that could be here? That could be contacting my family. That could be trying to threaten Bedfordshire police. That could be, you know, you could be trying to intimidate us in all these different ways, all these different people. But I believe many have probably repented. Many people probably, that cult probably isn't doing half the sacrifices it was. How many are still doing the abuse in the school, or whether they are kind of arranged, and they were already suspicious. They were already had so many contingency plans in to escape the secret rooms through the tunnels. If when they were caught, they didn't give Elisa and Gabriel the trust that they knew other children were more conditioned into it. They looked at Elisa describes how the cult, some of the cult, or I think she suggests all of them, look at her and Gabriel suspicious. They're curious. She says they look at us curious. They don't trust me and Gabriel. They look at us curious. That's what she says, word for word. Any? Did they find any tunnels? Did they find it? Did they find any tunnels? Fake like this case? Yeah. So I just called you fake. So fake like this case. So what does that even mean anywhere, Pip Clutcher? El Chapo, I'd have to look into what El Chapo is. It sounds like a Spanish or South American place. See, with that, there's proof. Oh, with that, there's proof. Oh, was that big gangster, was it? Oh, amazing. Oh, he's got a gangster story to use against our story. Wow. Anyway, this fucking hell. Your comments just get so fucking tedious. I just want to fucking smash your head into the ground, Pit Clutcher. I want to destroy you from existence, so you can no longer partake in this experience we call life, and you can be reincarnated and move on, and maybe become a master. Maybe there's a deep part of you which is so wise that you'll break out of this paedophilia and abuse, and you'll become because masters aren't necessarily they're not like they still have work to do. So the idea that these beings, once they're ascended, once people decide not to come to a physical body, they still have jobs to complete in the other realm. So maybe it would become someone's guardian angel. So maybe we could just kill you, Pip Clutcher, and you'd go and become someone's guardian angel, because there was supposedly some communication with Jimmy Savile when he died. One medium spirit person claimed that they connected with the soul of Jimmy Savile, and he was deeply repentance, whatever the word is, and was really disturbed and was just in total shock as to how, from one ritual, from one abuse to the next, it was just like, why did I do it? I was just being driven. I was just compelled. I was just being possessed basically by his own earthly insecurities and self-hate to just keep abusing, to go to the next abuse. I need to do another abuse. And supposedly the soul suggested that it was actually really like totally remorseful and disturbed by its behaviour in the physical as Jimmy Savile. The Belgium links, wow, we really hit on something true there. So I mean, what do you want to talk about Belgium? Yeah, Belgium, huge issue, whether it's ongoing still. It marks the true case, absolutely. Proven, marks the true case. Huge cover-up. He was jailed, but his huge cover-up on who he was supplying children to, i.e. politicians, etc. Oh yeah, Pip Clutcher, did you go to Danny West's live stream yesterday? Let's go on with chapter 4 for a moment.
In those moments, Catherine was no longer herself. She spoke in a strange, deep, authoritative voice, entirely unlike her usual pronunciation or expression. She became a channel for entities I called the Master's highly evolved souls, bearing profound messages about life, death, and humanity's purpose. In that state, Catherine was not merely recalling memories but seemed to be transmitting transcendental knowledge. The Masters spoke of universal laws, karma, reincarnation, and the soul's evolutionary journey through various lifetimes. They emphasized that every soul must learn important lessons: compassion, forgiveness, and the release of fear, especially the fear of death. Each person is born with unique talents and lessons, and while no one is exactly alike, ultimately, all will progress towards equality in the light. The Masters stated there are 7 planes of existence, each comprising many different levels. Souls gradually ascend these levels through life experiences and lessons. They affirm that the physical body is temporary, a mere vehicle for the soul's training and development. While in the spiritual state, the soul can learn faster, but only in physical form can it experience pain, conflict, and relationships, all necessary for karmic resolution and self-perfection. Catherine also revealed that in the in-between state, individuals can choose the timing and manner of their birth and death. Those in comas, according to the Masters, are sometimes deliberating whether to return to a physical body, depending on the lessons they still need to complete. The messages Catherine transmitted in her superconscious state astonished and moved me. Concepts of reincarnation, spiritual planes, and soul choices before incarnation all seemed to coalesce into a majestic and miraculous spiritual tapestry. I began to see everything in an entirely new light, and the doctor-patient relationship transcended ordinary therapeutic boundaries. The Master's teachings were not only philosophical but also cautionary. They spoke of the imbalance humanity was inflicting upon nature and itself due to greed, lack of harmony, and detachment from universal laws. However, they also affirmed that although destruction might occur, it was part of a process of ascending to a higher plane. Peace, ultimately, would come, though not in the current physical world. Catherine's psychological transformation was undeniable. Her decades-long anxieties gradually vanished. She no longer feared death, nor felt anxious about losing control. The panic attacks that once paralyzed her almost completely disappeared. Miraculously, all this improvement came without medication or traditional therapy, but from a deep realization that death is not the end, that humanity's true essence is an eternal soul. Gradually, Catherine developed powerful psychic abilities. She could intuit things about people and foresee events before they happened. On one occasion, to prove her abilities to her father, she accurately predicted the winners of every horse race that day with astonishing ease. However, Catherine never used these abilities for financial gain. She stated that such powers should not be used for monetary purposes, as they were spiritual gifts, not tools for material manipulation. The transformation was not only in Catherine but also in myself. Witnessing her overcome darkness and fear through a spiritual path, I began to question all the beliefs I had held firm. What I once considered reason now seemed limited. And I was compelled to open myself to something greater, the truth about the soul and the path of reincarnation. The hypnosis sessions were no longer merely therapy. They became lessons, where I was the student, humbly receiving knowledge transmitted through Catherine. And amidst these sessions, I realized, the path I thought I was leading, turned out to be the path I myself needed to be led on. Chapter 5, The Journey of Awakening and Rebirth.
Take a moment of pause and quiet to reflect on the information there. That was quite a conclusive rounding up of the previous disclosures and testimony and evidence based on face value interpretation of true representation, true professing, and this just as a point of affirming this. So there's loads of shorts on it. It'll just feed you straight after. Actually, let's just go with music. But there'll be loads. But there's Oh, and he has a follow-up book as well. I started listening to. I didn't get much into it. Same Soul, Many Bodies. And then if I go to another page, I already opened it up there. So the amount of books, the amount of audio books on the book, and the amount of views. So I was watching one, and
This is the complete audio.
my one was 4 hours and 24 minutes long. 22 seconds. I remember very specifically because it related to two numbers that were very insignificant, very significant. Sorry, significant sound like insignificant. And the numbers when I was listening to it over a few days, and each day the views were going up so many. I got recommended to it initially by somebody at a animal rights demonstration action, and the views were just going up so quickly, like by about 1,000 a day or something like that. And so it's very, very well recommended book. Clearly, lots of people are recommending it to others. People are finding it, coming across it a lot all the time. So it's that's quite a good affirmation. I know popularity doesn't always justify but yeah, just see how much we've got left, and then I'm going to get going soon. And we maybe do a part 2 and actually maybe dive further into the book itself with some actual chapters and details, or maybe just do some more reviews. There's just so much to review as well, but I also don't want to just get stuck in they don't want to do too many days in a row of just kind of picking apart people's flaws and behaviour. I want to obviously stick to the Hampstead case as much as possible and just keep the consciousness of that flowing. But how long left on this? Let's just play this out for 5 minutes, and we can decide. I think I'll probably stop. Yeah.
As a psychiatrist, I once prided myself on adhering to mainstream science where human behavior was analyzed in light of statistics, biochemistry, and cognitive therapy. But from the moment Catherine entered my life with her past life memories and messages from the masters, all my old beliefs gradually began to waver. What I once considered reason now seemed confined. And I was compelled to open myself to something greater, the truth about the soul and the path of reincarnation. We continued the hypnosis sessions for several more months, no longer primarily for treatment, but as a parallel journey of learning. Catherine was free of her anxiety symptoms, panic attacks, insomnia, and fear of death. Her terrifying nightmares had ceased. She no longer needed sleeping pills or any traditional psychotherapy. Her mind was peaceful and light, as if a layer of fog that once enveloped her had been lifted, revealing a clear sky. In the final hypnosis sessions, Catherine occasionally re-entered the higher state, where the masters continued to convey messages. On one occasion, they emphasized that knowledge is only valuable when shared. They wanted me to record what had happened, not to gain attention, but to disseminate the knowledge to those ready to receive it. I began taking more careful notes, no longer as a therapist, but as a humble student before truth. What was truly astonishing was that Catherine remembered nothing upon waking. For her, everything that transpired during hypnosis was erased. But when I recounted to her what she had said, Catherine did not deny it. On the contrary, she felt a strange sense of relief, as if her soul was being freed from invisible shackles. Notably, Catherine showed no ambition for fame or blind curiosity about what she had revealed. She accepted it as a natural part of her spiritual evolution. During this time, I also began to change. I read more about Eastern religions, studying Buddhism, Hinduism, and ancient philosophies often overlooked by the West. I started to realize that science and spirituality were not opposing forces. They were two sides of the same journey, the pursuit of truth. If science went from the outside in, spirituality went from the inside out. But the destination remained the same, an understanding of the nature of humanity and the universe. I also learned not to hastily force others to believe in things they hadn't experienced. Skepticism was necessary, and each person would come to truth in their own way, at the right time. But I believed that once someone was ready to open their mind, they would realize that death is not an end, but merely a doorway to another state of existence. What touched me most deeply was when Catherine shared that she now felt more peaceful than ever before. She began to dedicate time to herself, reconnecting with her family, and opening up to new people. She was no longer haunted by Stuart or old wounds. Life was no longer a battle but a continuous process of growth. She realized she had the right to live fully, with love and gratitude. I knew I had embarked on this journey to help Catherine, but she had led me to an awakening. The months of working with her ignited in me a deep conviction that the soul is eternal, and every pain, loss, or challenge serves a higher purpose. We are never truly alone, and nothing happens by chance. We are souls learning through every experience. This lifetime is merely one of countless times we wear a physical body to learn lessons of love, forgiveness, and overcoming fear. When we understand this, we will no longer fear death, no longer judge others or ourselves, and no longer feel empty in life. I wrote this book not as a scientific report but as a humble testament. I was once a skeptic, but now I am a witness. A witness to the miraculous journey of a woman overcoming suffering by opening the door to soul memories. And I know that this door always exists within each of us, waiting to be opened at the right time.
And to you, where's I was going to put Ricky Dearman back up just to express my I reached out a hand to say Ricky Dearman and Gabriel. I know Gabriel's been through so much for a decade. We'll continue with your testimony when we're back, Gabriel. I know it was 2 days ago, 17th of September, 11 years ago now. So I actually uploaded this one just yesterday. If I refresh, you'll see I've changed. I forgot to put the on Elisa's. I put it 400. I've uploaded the audio by 400% to make it really clear, so everyone can just finally hear your testimony properly, and how this was used against you, this forced retraction. And if we just look at Elisa's a second, her compared to here, where she is so enthusiastic.
Keep some skulls in.
Yes.
And there's a nursery.
And then they keep. Yes, there's a nursery too.
What's
There's
the nursery? Do you call the nursery anything else?
No, I don't know, but we just call it a nursery, really.
Okay, so you go into the nursery.
Yes.
And what's in the nursery?
So in the nursery says we do ACE. So ACE is kind of a club where you act, sing, dance, or like that kind of club in this nursery.
So, and then in the second interview, so enthusiastic to get these testimonies.
Yes.
You can only go back into the nursery. You can't go anywhere else.
It's just
Oh, sorry.
any people.
That was the second one. The first one's so enthused, so rare, and a little bit more obviously confusing. The second one, why is she being asked stuff? Why is he just asking about all these details that clearly realise clocking on certain levels of manipulation? Then the third one, Wilga's here. The second,
any people who like any people who would who are like the kind of people who will actually do sex to who can't come to school, who are busy or anything like that, but then they keep me and Gabriel to do sex to us. They got their equipment, so they got the plastic willies, and then they do it.
And these plastic willies, which were named as the reason why she knew about these to say is because Sophie Herlocker had the pictures of them on her iPad at school. And that was just accepted. That was just a retraction that Gabriel didn't. Gabriel said that Elisa just told him about them. But they also had scars on their anuses. He also described different size levels and different people in the cult that have different size plastic willies, as they described them. So then, I've now extracted the retraction interviews, and look at her demeanour now when she comes in. This is really, really so sad. She's clearly been sedated.
Okay, can you sit on this one for us, please? Because the speaker's this thing here. See up here?
Yeah.
So this one's speaking. I think there's another one, which is that.
You can see her mouth. You can see her mouth open from taking narcotics, substance abuse and misuse before. It really does affect the mouth. Very many different substances have muscle relaxant or muscle tension effects on the mouth. You just look at her mouth there.
That one there. This one here. So
even touching her jaw, look to discomfort. We'll watch that again.
okay, can you sit on this one for us, please? Because the speaker's this thing here. See up here?
Yeah.
So this one's speaking. I think there's another one, which is that one there. This one here. So yeah, you're right. So there are a couple. Cameras are a little easy to spot in this one, aren't they, as well?
1, 2, 3.
3. And Joe, why there's 3 in this room? Right, first one there. See the one down below?
She almost looks like a different girl, doesn't she, compared to the first interviews? But yeah, I'm gonna go at I'm gonna get off before 3, and then maybe we'll carry on with the part 2 in a few hours, and we'll go through both these retraction interviews and show the how they don't correlate with each other, and why the IPCC was right to uphold them as much as it could have been a bit more brave and address it. It definitely should have got the result. It should have pursued the reinvestigation, which they said they did an internal investigation of Steve the first time, and then 2016 re-upheld it. And obviously fear starts kicking in with anyone in any position, and they realised that they were being messed about, and then they got they got disbanded they got their name changed, a reshaping of the organisation. Many obviously lost their jobs, I can only imagine, and renamed the Independent Office of Police Conduct after stalling over this case for a year. So just a little bit more of Elisa's just sadly, clearly given her some substance.
Below.
Yes.
It's on like a bigger box, do you see there?
Yeah.
And that's because that one can move about, and that's the camera for you. Okay. Then there's another one the same. It's on a box. That camera's for me. So one's looking at you, one looking at me, and then that one up there shows the whole room. So that's why this one has 3.
Yeah, Babs, her facial expression, her way she's sitting, her confidence, her responses. When I say look like, and physically, yes, to me, there's elements of she looks like she's being drugged. So she looks like a different child, but she's acting very much like a different child, or very much in a different mind state, under duress. As much as she's confident and forced into this position, and it was, as we just heard, coincidentally, where I clicked on the clip before, they do acting at this school. It's very encouraged to be part of the acting, the extra classes on acting. Hey, Babs. Hey, all these people. Oh, wasn't Wendy part of recruiting people for the Trisha show? I think it was the Trisha show, and then obviously we've got all these different backstage enterprises, and Mandy.com, which is to do with, and there's all the YouTube hosts and all that. It's just, we've got everything, fam, everything and more you could ever need.
Okay. Where we are today, we're not in London today. We're at a place called Rowan House, which is in Suffolk. And today's date is the 17th of September, and it's 10:31. Okay. What I'd like to do is just, can you tell us your full name, can you?
Elisa Elise, that is my real name.
Yep.
My middle name is Grace, and my surname is Graver.
Yes. And there are two other people here. My name's Steve, and I'm pleased. And we've met a few times now, haven't we? And we've done a couple of these interviews. So this is. Do you remember how many we've done before?
3.
No, this is number 3. So we've done 2. We've done one at Barnet, one in Wood Green, and then today. So this is number 3.
Oh.
And then there's another chap. Can you remember his name?
Carl.
Carl. That's right, Carl.
And this other one is Matt and Sarah, and we met Cleo yesterday.
Oh, did you? So you met. Today's Carl.
But yeah, we're going to get to these. I'm going to do it when I get back. I'm going to go through all the whole interviews. So this is just the introductions, so not to break it up. Thank you, everybody. See you in a few hours if you're about.